And I think most entrepreneurs are delusional. They think they are entrepreneurs, but the fact is they are very, very high paid employees. I started with 1,200 followers, and we are now, I think, on 410 or 411. The business in numbers went from nothing to a six-figure a month.
To replace yourself within the business, where do you feel the key hires were and how did they come about?
Very simple. You need.
All right, we are joined by Noah. Noah, the Stoic Biohacker. Noah, do you want to introduce yourself? We've been working together for a fair bit now, and there's a lot to know about yourself, your journey, and how you started. So over to you, Noah.
Thank you. Thank you for having me in the podcast. I am addicted and obsessed with health and helping other people with their health. It started as a hobby, and I did it for quite 2 decades almost for free to our patient. I used to have an investment fund. And the investors, we used to help them with their health. We did retreats. And then one day, Brian Tracy, he told me, what are you doing for free? And I told him, well, I love helping people with their health. He said, why do you do not more of that? So that's how actually I went from having an investment funds and having companies that went IPO into focusing full power on health. And and you know, the saying that you cannot beat someone that enjoy their work the most. And that's why I never feel I'm working, but I'm doing easily 70, 80 hours a week.
Interesting. Yeah. So you came into, let's say, the online marketing space, the organic marketing space as well, more recently than most people. So how did that come about? Where did the offer start? What do you offer? Because it's a very unique offer, to be fair.
Yeah, we started on exactly the 9th of May with posting in a specific format and specific narrative, and that took went quite viral. And the offer is about it's a metabolic reset offer. What does it mean? It's like most people, they try to lose weight, but they are so inflamed, they have such high cortisol. So we help our patients to lower that inflammation, not only through nutrition, not only through sleep and lifestyle and guidance, but also through medical intervention and mostly through peptides, right? Most people don't have experience with peptides. We used to train for quite a decade plus doctors and athletes how to use peptides. And then it became more mainstream, and then we started to implement that to our bigger audience.
Now, why do you feel your offer just shot up and blew up very, very quickly compared to most online fitness health offers in this space?
I think that most weight loss offers, there is no peptides in it. It's or the coaching only or the nutrition and some guidance, but we go very, very deep, which means we also do a gut reset as a foundational element. We do heavy metal cleansing as a foundation element, right? Because we believe that if your body is low on toxins, it just functions totally different, right? So, and if you stack and the sleep and the gut reset and the parasite cleanse and the heavy metal detoxification and the peptides, right? And the nutrition, which is also like the 80-20 rule, then suddenly people think, wow, this is magic. It's worked so fast.
Yeah, I think it's easy to, of course, market and grow with an offer as well when, first of all, you know what you're doing. Of course, being a good coach, being a good founder, face of the business is going to be a key element of that. So how did you get to a point where you, as a founder, as a business owner, got to a point where you knew exactly how to, let's say, build an offer, market, sell, and where were the, let's say, turning points in learning for you to be able to grow there?
No, I'll be lying to tell you if I knew. I did not know. And obviously, I always say that to a lot of people, because a lot of people love the Frankenstein protocol, which is trying to build everything by yourself and discover everything by yourself. But the fact that I reversed many diseases, the fact that I went IPO in a company, the fact that I learned and became professional salsa dancer and did 3 studies at the same time, it's not because I am great in it. It's just because I discovered very quick that if you hire mentors like yourself that also got me and taught me to avoid errors, because errors you're going to make anyway, right? But mentors, and I think a lot of people are greedy on themselves in hiring mentors. They can not only help you get there faster, but avoid 10, 20 years of unnecessary mistakes. So the true answer to that question is mentors.
Love to hear. I do think that the biggest thing that is going to shortcut path, personally as well, I've spent a lot of mentors myself, is the mistakes from other people that you can learn from, so you can avoid every single path that will cost you years and years and a lot of money as well. Now, for you as well, what were the key learning points in terms of hiring people outside of mentors as well? Because, of course, I know a fair few parts of the business and the departments that there are people in. So for you to hire at a higher level, of course, to replace yourself within the business, where do you feel the key hires were and how did they come about?
Yeah, so first I want to, because that's a very important point what you just, and I think most entrepreneurs, they are delusional. And what do I mean with that? They think they are entrepreneurs, but the fact is they are very, very high paid employees, right? So making the awareness between, okay, I don't want to work in my business, I want to work on my business, so I can, if I go for 3 months away, it still grow. If today I buy shares in any company that's listed, well, if I show up or not show up, I'm a shareholder, it's still gonna grow, right? If you make the right choice. So having that mentality is number one. Number two, yes, you always, like I learned that from Sam Owen 20 years ago. He taught me that you want to spend 50% of your time on hiring. Right? Like hiring is the biggest leverage in your company. So whenever I hire someone, I use the Charlie Munger model, mental model. And the Charlie Munger, he said, you want to hire people that are smart, that are hardworking, and that are loyal, right? So the last one is the most difficult, but definitely smart and definitely smarter than me in that thing, or else I'm gonna, have 2 jobs.
I agree. And one of the biggest things, because of course we focus very, very heavy on hiring and making sure processes, SOPs are documented and everyone knows exactly what to do all the time, is the freedom that you can buy back from just having the data SOPs behind every single task. Because the first question I ask pretty much everyone is, if you got hit by a bus tomorrow, would your business survive? Now, they're like, okay, yes, it survives a month, maybe, but where are we at the end of a month? Like, do we actually have a business that survives, or is it just hanging on by limbs? Now, for you as well, where were the, let's say, key hires that you first made that removed yourself from the process, as in foundational hires?
I started from top of the funnel to just get as much, and I did everything myself first, just to understand, okay, how does it work? And then hiring someone that has experience, but that is more have the personality of that task, right? Like a marketeer, creative person, you don't want them to be an accountant, detailed person. You want them creative, you want them thinking, you want them chaotic, right? While someone who's gonna build the system in my company, you want them neurotic almost, right? To a very detailed level. So yeah, I definitely started with the first setter, and then the second setter, and then after that the sale, the marketing part, the content part, and the doctors, and step by step. Look, I do have to say my wife is a medical doctor, so I did had an internal a partner that makes some things easier.
There's a few more members of the team as well that you've stacked on top, which were very, very good hires, honestly. I actually think your team is extremely well built.
Yeah.
Now, key point from all of this as well, I think it's more letting go of the ego that you are the best at everything. I think that's where most solopreneurs in golden handcuffs, essentially, high-paid jobs, get very, very stuck. They cost themselves years of progress, years of building leverage, because they think no one can replace them. No one can do this better than me. And it's like, no one cares, because you can't do this across another 200, 300, 400 clients.
100%. Yeah. Like the first thing that's my goal when I started this is, okay, to find someone that is better than me that will run this company. Like, and the moment that I found, which is Dr. Emil, he became the CEO of the company. I'm not the CEO of my own company, right? So, and he's doing 10 times better job than me, to be honest with you. Sometimes I feel like I'm working for him. and that's a good feeling, that's what you want from your own CEO.
Yeah, Emil's a very, very good CEO. So one of, I think your key strengths as well is knowing how to, first of all, let go of things very quickly, but then also knowing where to allocate time that is prioritized for growth in the business. So how to prioritize and execute on just efficiencies. So for you as well, how did you, let's say, develop that skill of being able to just focus on priorities, focus on things that move the business forward?
I think just experience, to be honest with you. I think experience, and because I'm more looking always from top, what is the ROI? What is the ROI on my time? And I do have to say that last year, my wife got pregnant, and we were blessed with an amazing child. I mean, 2 years ago, she got pregnant. Last year, I got a child. And when, there is this study that once you get a child, like the average multimillionaire has 3 kids, right? And there is a correlation between being responsible for a human being that is that you love more than yourself, and that definitely was a catalyst, an accelerator. And every person that wants to become wealthy, I advise them to get kids. You go in hyper-focus mode.
Yeah, understandable. I mean, you can use it. The thing is, I've heard the other side of things as well. People using it as a crutch for fear to push harder and invest in their business. And then, of course, build leverage inside the business. And they're like, okay, now I need to double down on doing the thing that kept me stuck as well. So
exactly.
How did you separate those two things where you're like, okay, this is purely cash generated, need to scale the business to generate more profits versus, all right, just need to work harder on everything in the business and keep me stuck?
I think I was doing business and I was playing business. And then when you get in hyper focus mode, you go into I go only doing business and not playing. Like networking, yeah, awesome. But now I think nine out of 10 networking events, I will not go anymore. And I'll just build my business. And you just look at I love your sheet where you allocate like your time and you can see, okay, how much do you spend on scrolling? How much do you time spend on thinking or walking or just doing nothing, and suddenly it's in front of you. And that was like, I did that like for 4 days. I think your sheet. And that was amazing. It gave me perspective, even more perspective. Okay, where is my time going? So I think measuring is definitely a help. And just doing more of what's bringing you exposure and money. Content was giving me a lot of exposure, and appointment setting was bringing the cash. So I was just doing more of that. And then focus. Like I think most people, including myself, we are used to think that focus means 2-3 months on one thing. But in 28th of August, 2 years ago, I thought for 1 year, I'm going to do just one thing every day, whatever the outcome is, which is posting content. And the first 6 months, I sucked big time. Right? And then on 9th of May, that's when it started not sucking anymore. Right? So I think most people, they undervalue the power of focus for 12 months on one thing only and saying no to everything else.
You had exponential growth from the inputs there. So how did that grow for you? Where did you start, let's say, in terms of just the followers, let's say, and where are we at right now?
Yeah, I started with 1,200 followers on 9th of May. And we are now, I think, on 410 or 411 today. So that's like approximately like 8-9 months. Yeah, that's and that was purely on posting content, doing research, seeing what people want, like answering all the inbounds, asking them what they want to see more, and that, yeah.
I think the biggest part that most people miss is the research as well. They blindly post for the sake of posting for years and years and years. And they think, okay, this is kind of speaking to my niche. But is it validated across this person, across the market? What's actually what is going viral? And more importantly, what's actually trending for growth now? As in, how do you go about your creative process? Because I think this is very interesting as well.
Yes. So the creative process, like every day, I spend around 2 days per week on the creative process. And that was also after I spoke to you, and you said to me, like, focus more on that. And then I saw Alex Hormozi also saying how he spent like 3 days per week on content creation. I was like, what? Alex Hormozi spending that amount of time? So that's when I doubled down on that. And then my team, I told them, look, let's research everything that's working, everything that's not working, measuring each story, what's bringing in, how many followers, how much cash, how much closes. So by doing that, like I cannot really explain what it is, but something you get kind of a pattern recognition, and it's subconscious, right? So it's subconscious. You think, oh, this will work, this not will work, and in the beginning you suck at it, but after a while you become better in it.
Yeah, I agree. At the beginning, it's very algorithmic, as in you think this is the structure, this, and then it becomes second nature as to what you need to make, double down on what works. So how did that impact the business? As in, where did we start off at? Where did we PB at as well?
Yeah, I mean, not only the business, to be honest with you. The business in numbers, it went from nothing to a 6-figure a month. But that is actually the byproduct of many other things. Like it opened doors, it opened opportunities, it opened friendships. It opened patients that were on another life or stage of their life from other countries. It opened speaking events, and like so many other things happened as a byproduct of this.
It's very, very impressive as well in terms of scale of growth in the online space in a very short period of time.
Yeah.
Realistically as well, technically a very short period of time. Now, what mindset shifts, mental shifts needed to change as things were growing?
I think I always had this mentality of, I learned it from Tony Robbins. I was a volunteer for almost 2 decades with his organization, and we always made a joke there, like, how often do you say to a toddler that's try to walk and fall, after how many times do you tell him, okay, stop trying? Like, you don't. But adults, we forget about that. So every time I want to get obsessed with something, if it's salsa dancing or if it's programming or it's whatever it is, or social media, I have this mentality. I don't think, okay, I'm going to try until X amount of months. I'm going to try until I'm going to become an expert in it, right? And there is a process. There is a model how to become an expert. Having a mentor is number one. Having a P group is number one. Teaching it to others is another one, right? So there are certain things that I always do with every skill I want to learn. And these 3 are some of them. Reading about it, learning about it, benchmarking other successful people about it. Yeah.
Very interesting. For you, do you feel that progress measured by data is more important for you than, let's say, progress measured by just the feeling of growth, the feeling where things are incrementally moving forward versus the actual data, let's say hard set in stone things where you're like, okay, this is the KPI, this is the input, this is the output, versus like, okay, things feel like they're moving forward?
Well, it's funny that you say that. Look, as an entrepreneur, and I think this applies to every entrepreneur, you always have 2 hats. You have the hats of the business that you're working on today, and you have the other hat of the business that you're working on in the future, right? So when you get a partnership proposal online, you are building the business of tomorrow. But when you get a client, you're building the business of today. And I think it's a dance between both of them.
At a certain point, I do feel you need to be a sophisticated gambler. Whether you're investing your time, resources, whether it's energy, you have to be able to put more in. And of course, you can make an educated guess, but you can only ever be 70% certain on a decision, right? Or 60% certain on a decision. But that should be enough. I think looking for 100% certainty and switching between the 2 hats, between like, okay, now I'm trying to grow based on this. Now I'm trying to grow based on my feeling, intuition. Where did you, let's say, find the strength to not need certainty in every decision, to invest your time, energy, finances into the business?
Well, I think it's where you come from. Like, I grew up in a refugee camp, and I think having that acceptance that you don't know what life can happen, and it's okay. Right? So you build that like with everything in your life, and the meaning. What I mean with the meaning is like you can have twin brothers, that one become a criminal and another become a doctor, and they have the same parents, they have the same challenged backgrounds, but one became a master of meaning, and the other said, this is fate, right? And I think for every entrepreneur and just every human being, becoming a master of meaning what is happening to you? How do you look at it, right? Is it life happening to you or is it for you? And so that definitely, and if you want to have certainty, definitely don't become an entrepreneur. It's just impossible.
It's where I think people with, let's say, golden handcuffs in there decide that they need to essentially find meaning in what they do because they can't have certainty in any area of the business. More specifically, I think it's a matter of perspective as well, because you also can't have perspective on what the future of the business looks like when you're taking actions, because the outcome of the business, the revenue, the team, all of this, these are all delayed measures of leading indicators, the inputs that you're putting in day one. Like, for example, like you take someone that is 150 kilograms obese, right? You tell them that they can one day have a six-pack, they can one day be very healthy in shape, but they just want to lose the next 10, 20 kilos, just feel healthy, right? They won't believe you because they'll find every excuse as to why the world doesn't want that to happen to them or why they can't do it and someone else can, right? It's because, once again, you can only have certainty in hindsight once you get there, right? We know there is a process behind getting there. We know that there is going to be a gamble in your time, energy, investment in your energy and time as well to get to that point. So it is a shift in perspective needed to be like, okay, I need to know that I'm not going to have certainty that these outcomes are going to be there from the inputs today. So what helped you stack on those inputs day by day, day in, day again? Because content, difficult. Ads as well. If you're spending more and more on ads, you don't know. You don't collect the cash day one from the ads. It's data behind it. But how did you build that skill?
So my answer will be in three ways. First of all, you need to understand that every price, whatever you want to achieve in life, has another price, right? So just choose the cost that you are willing to pay. Like every struggle, you're going to struggle anyway. If you're going to wake up at 5 a.m. and train before your kids wake up, or if you're going to sleep and not train, both have a price. Both will be a struggle eventually. So having that awareness and that dedication on that choice is something very important. And number two is like, it's a muscle. Like telling you, oh, I knew that from day number one, that would be a lie. So it's a muscle that you have to train step by step, and you stack these muscles, and that starts with childhood, right? That's why how you bring your kids will definitely define their future, because it's a muscle. If you have a tiny success and then you have a second tiny success and a third, and it becomes bigger and bigger, when suddenly you wake up and you said, okay, I want to become famous online, you don't think, okay, will I become? You said, okay, how I can become, right? Because you know you can do it, it's just you don't know yet how. And that muscle is definitely, it's a training. Yeah.
100%. So outside of that, now, what decision do you feel felt reckless at the time that ended up changing everything?
Hiring people that made more money in my own company than myself. That definitely...
That's always scary, I guess. Yeah. The first time we did that, we've hired, I don't know, 120, 130 people now. Of course, fired many in the time as well. Biggest difference, I think, that was made when hiring people that are a lot smarter than you, that can do things a lot better than you, was knowing that you can't necessarily question their decisions and their input on everything. Like, you can have your own thoughts as to this is how things should be done because we have it done this way before, but then trusting the process and being like, okay, they know more than me on this, I should probably let them do it. I have invested into them already, so now it's just like, how do you support them as much as possible in the game?
Exactly, yeah.
So for you, what are your thoughts on the game itself? As in, we are playing an infinite game at the end of the day, right? So we're not necessarily playing for an end goal. So what do you feel is the next level for you, the next step?
Well, I believe that I play the game of abundance, which is I do my best and I show up every day. And on some days it's 120%, some days 60%, but consistency is is my friend, and from there I will discover new things, and then I will enter new challenges, and I'll meet new friends, and yeah, I'll just take it. That's how life is from me about. You grow and you meet new people, you teach other people, you get taught by other people. So that's I don't have like a very specific. Okay, in 3 years I want to be there making this or.
I don't either. I don't feel like that's an easy, because things move. As you can of course have short-term targets, you have projections and all of this, right? But
you have a Northern Star, but
but I don't think that can be like the life deciding factor, how you actually spend your days as well, just because things change very, very fast.
And you know, like the Ikigai model, where if you do what you love, that people want to pay and that the world needs, I mean, magic will happen.
I think people think that they have an end goal. They think that there is a number where everything feels normal. Like there's a number of M's in your bank account, or there is a number of people that are running everything for you, and time freedom, financial freedom, location freedom. You can go anywhere you want. But the whole goal is to still keep playing. Because especially if you look at dopamine circuits as well, like we are driven and we are built by the pursuit of purpose and the pursuit of something there, you know, the gold medal depression thing that we have going on. When you get there, everything goes down.
Astronauts.
It's like, what then? And it's the same with, you know, let's say health, right? The goal isn't to necessarily get a six-pack or get in shape. It's to stay in shape. In marriage, right? The goal is not to have a girlfriend and to get married. It's to stay married and live a healthy, happy life, right? And the same with business as well. The goal isn't to get to like 10 million or 50 million or 100 million. It's to continue playing, which is why you see, like, why is Elon Musk going for the next $10 billion? Why is he going for the next $100 billion? It's not like he hasn't bought all the freedom in the world that he can buy. It's purely to continue playing the game to help more people. And that's where he has driven his purpose from, because it's the only game in business where it's so demonized to try and get to the next level, because people want money, people are struggling with money, and it actually is something that makes a tangible difference to your life every single day if you don't have it. So that's one of those things where it's like, if you are in excess or in abundance already, it's very demonized to try and get to the next level, even if you are doing it for the sake of purpose and playing the game. So here's how did you, let's say, discover that yourself?
So I was speaking to actually one of our patients. He's the world memory champion. Like, out of 9 billion people, he's like the person that can memorize things the fastest and the most. And he told me, like, when he started and suddenly he became the smartest person in the room, but not in the world, just in the room, he already started to discover other things that when he started, like a year before, he couldn't imagine thinking that way. So whatever we are discussing, whatever I'm sharing now with you, is based on my knowledge today. You ask me that question in 3 years, it's going to be a total different question, because you grow as a person. And even with Elon Musk or any other celebrity that has achieved some type of success, like, we think that we understand what they're thinking, but I don't think I can, at least. So that's why what you said, like, just playing the game every day and showing up, make you grow, and then you'll achieve new goals and new heights and new decisions that will take you again to something new. And I work based on models, which is the Ikigai model, right? It's a mental model that you want to give people, you want to help people. And as long as you give value to the world, where you get paid for it, you have to have that commercial part, then magic can happen, because it feels so amazing that you're doing it.
How do you personally define success?
Like in business, for me, it's like helping. I did a lot of type of business, from real estate to supplements, and this business is because I'm helping so many people, and every day, like, I get people that are very grateful for things that we've helped them that other doctors couldn't, and they have the wow effect. Finally, I found you. That feeling is really amazing. It's really amazing to help others where other specialists could not help it. So it's a kind of the combination of challenge and getting paid for your skills of helping and finding a solution for that challenge.
and in life in general?
I think it's a very philosophic question. I don't think that I have the all the wisdom to know an exact answer for it. It definitely changed. Like you asked me 3 years ago, this is a different answer to today. Today is just spending more time with my family, my friends, and yeah, making this world a better place.
I do think it's a difficult question.
Yeah.
I don't think it's...
It's evolving.
Exactly.
It's evolving, yeah.
So what you thought about it, let's say 5 years ago, is going to be different to what you
Totally,
think about it
yeah.
now, 2 years, 3 years
Yeah.
down the line. Difficult question. Now, for you, back to your business more specifically as well. How did you get to a point of charging higher ticket? As in, first of all, what do you charge for your offer and main offer? And how did you get to a point where you're like, this is where my product is valued?
Yeah, so that was also an organic growth by also benchmarking other people, listening to people like yourself. But definitely, we have different type of offers from 3K to 50K. And it depends if it's a stem cell or exosomes or peptides or just coaching, or is it weight loss or like whatever solution the patient or the avatar needs. We have created an offer for that. And that is an organic thing because you understand better your clients, your patients, the people that comes to you, and they are begging you, okay, do you have this offer? Like, we want this, we don't want that. So then if enough people ask you that, then you think, hey, maybe we should create something for them too. And I'm very data driven also. So that also gives us like, what are the questions? What is it about mostly?
Yeah, 100%. And I think, another big thing that I've noticed consistently is that people work on their fulfillment, the actual product, without the marketing and selling behind it as well. Because once again, like, the only way you can improve a product is by selling to more people. You can't build a perfect product out the gate because everything you're improving is based on your opinion, not the market's opinion, not your client's opinion, clearly, because we're not selling enough people to actually get enough feedback. So for you as well, how did you, let's say, know that there is a need to, of course, get more and more people to improve the offer?
That's actually a very, very good question. And I think a very misunderstood question. So most people will say to you, you need to fall in love with your customer. Yes and no. It's true, you want to fall in love with your customer, to understand him, to help him better. But you definitely want to also fall in love with your offer to make it better every day. By making the offer better and stupid proof and having wow effect, the customer also will be better. And it's a dance between these three foundations: your offer, your customer, and your marketing, right? And I think most entrepreneurs don't fall in love enough with their marketing, or don't obsess enough with marketing. And I believe every company is a marketing company with a product.
I agree. And there is always a fear around, let's say, marketing something that isn't fully built. But the only way, once again, that you can improve it is by having not as much certainty that this is going to work and not as much certainty that it's going to get the result. Now, once you have the results, once you are doing well, like, another big mistake I've seen consistently as well is not pushing harder into the only thing that can get you more results, which is the marketing. So everyone feels that there is a bottleneck with, let's say, their fulfillment process, the retention, the LTV, all of this. They don't actually even know how to get more qualified leads in the door, how to actually get more qualified calls booked, which are sold. So the process matters more, and the consistency around the process. So I do believe data is the foundation for all of that as well. So having data to know that the system works, to know what to push more into and what to pull from as well. So what pieces of data was most key, let's say, for you when making decisions in the business?
So
very high level question.
Yeah, very high level. I think selling first to very wealthy people gave us the oxygen to build the offer for the mass. And then second, getting the data mostly on what people are not happy about, by asking them, can you give us a referral? And if they will not, that means that something was not perfect.
Your business did grow very well from referrals as well, so that was a key part of it.
Yeah.
you mentioned something very key there. Selling to the wealthy, selling high ticket before you sell to the mass. Most people start the other way around. Now, why do you feel most people start with just monthly payments again and again and again, subscription-based stuff, recurring stuff, before they actually go into the high ticket space and target people who are earning more?
I mean, I think the mass could work if you have enough investment, but if you don't, like when we started, I think it's just much easier to sell to someone that wants the same as a mass, but give him a VIP done with you or for you even package. And that's.
Couldn't agree more. I think people selling to the mass at the beginning don't understand that you need technically capital, leverage, team to actually sell to the masses, and you have to sell at volume, and you're competing against everyone else who is also charging to the masses.
I mean, even Elon Musk, like even Tesla, he didn't start with a mass car. He started with the first Tesla was only for wealthy people.
Yeah, it was 100, 200, 300K or something, right?
Yeah.
It's just uphill. It's just uphill battle because you don't have the capital to reinvest into the business for growth. So you are playing like a very, very slow grind up until you can have any sort of periods of exponential growth, which is what I don't think most people understand as well. They think it's meant to be like a linear, okay, I'm going to charge £200 a month to everyone to get this result, and then I'm just going to go slowly grind my way up here, right? But there is a point where there is exponential growth in every business. So I actually think it's a step ladder. So it's like you're here for a bit, and then there's a big jump up, here for a bit, big jump up, stabilize. Now, for you to have a big jump up, you need capital to reinvest into the business. So unless you have outside investment, of course, your main play is to put everything on a credit card when you are needing to push it further into ads, push further into the team, or of course, if you have investment, put it back into the business, learn where to put that in, of course, and then make the right bets, like place the right bets, and you will grow, because you can only have a certain amount of information before you, of course, have that exponential growth up, because it's the speed of the decision made that is going to make that change for you. Now, for you as well, how did you end up making decisions faster at speed outside of experience? Where did we actually pull experience from?
I mean, yeah, I do have a lot of experience. And I do have a lot of mentors around me. And when I started this, I thought, okay, who knows the most about organic without ads? And so that's how Emil introduced us. And that's definitely avoided, like all your team, like James and Alessandro and all these people definitely helped us avoid. We still made mistakes, but at least the growth was faster than if I would have done this by myself. So again, mentors is definitely a big part of the success. And like putting where to invest. Yeah, invest in your people and invest in your growth. Like I just re-put all the money back in the business and mostly in marketing, because that was the defining factor.
100%. Yeah. For you, I think the expensive choice is staying stalled, because people very, very much do not understand the cost of inaction. If you're at, let's say, 20K a month, 30K a month, whatever it is, for 6 months straight, and you're like, okay, I'm going to try and get to 35, have some inconsistent months around there, you're like 40K a month at the end of, let's say, 6 months. There is a really, really big difference between going from 20K a month to 30K a month to 70 to 80 to 100. Now, the cost of staying around abouts in the same range for a decent amount of time is all the extra income that you could have earned, right? From having the information, number one. But then number two, of course, the understanding that the whole goal of this game is to pull out as much cash as possible to either reinvest into business or to reinvest into your own long-term investment. So you can pull out a percentage and actually live, because I don't believe, in my opinion, that most people are playing the game of aggressive scale and growth. They think that they're going to be at 10K a month forever. But 10K a month forever relies on them, and they know that they're going to collapse at a certain point. 20K a month also relies on them pretty much, and they know that at some point they're going to need to take a month off and the business is going to collapse, because there's at that level, there aren't enough systems and there isn't enough leverage built for that to sustain itself for a long period of time. So that means the goal is always aggressive growth. But there's a big misunderstanding. It's like, oh, too much time. It's going to take too much time. It's going to take too much effort. Like, it's too overwhelming and all of this. I don't want the stress of a bigger business.
Exactly.
I want a lean
They
team.
think.
They think.
They think it's the stress of a bigger business, but the bigger business, but better people you can hire, the better system you have, the less you work in the business, but more on the business.
100%.
And plus, personality-wise, that's why being an entrepreneur is a great self-development story, because the personality that you have when you're making 10K is a total different personality than when you're making 100K or 1 million K or 10 million K a month. And you have to grow out of the old personality, which means you become an expert in change, right? So yeah, that's definitely, you want to become a better entrepreneur, become an expert in change, in accepting change, in pushing change, in putting yourself out of your comfort zone. Even the zones that you think they're not going to change, you still have to change them.
I've said it from day one. I believe entrepreneurship is the fastest game to play if you're looking for self-development. I mean, the most significant game and most important game you can play when you're looking for self-development, because then there's so many things that you need to learn. There's marketing, there's sales, there's team building, even there's management, there's leadership, there is operations. All of these things you need to learn to a certain level, but then you need to grow as a person to get from this level, this level, this level. One of the biggest things missing, I think, for people as well is most of the people watching this anyways, is becoming that sophisticated gambler where you are making semi-educated bets on the business, because once again, certainty is a big driving factor that people need to move forward. So for you as well, any thoughts on how someone in a similar starting position to yourself without the experience would need to grow to the next level?
Very simple. You need 3 types of people. First, the mentors. You need the peer group, and you need students. And funny enough, the student, you teaching what you're learning to other people, is the fastest way of growth. I learn way more by teaching than by my mentors. But you definitely need these 3 things. And the fastest way to have that is being part of a mastermind group, right? Because then you get all the feedback from another 10, 20, 30 entrepreneurs, and you have one leader that has that experience that guides you into it step by step. Because most people know what they do, but it's the how. Yeah. Okay, I know I need to go viral, but how?
Could not agree more. I could not agree more. So, Noah, I very, very much appreciate your time as well.
Thank you.
Any closing thoughts on anything we talked about or anything at all?
No, to be honest with you, thank you for having me here. I think it's a great what you're doing, what you're helping all these other entrepreneurs that wants to be but don't know how. And I think you helped a lot of people. You helped us a lot, so I'm very grateful for that. And thank you for having me.
Very much appreciate you being on, and appreciate your kind words as well. I've said it from day one as well on our team as well. Most charismatic, most enjoyable character to work with as well. So very much appreciate you, Noah.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.